You are looking at a jar that costs $2 to fill and will wash a family's laundry for an entire year. The Amish have been using this exact formula since the 1800s. 3 ingredients. No chemicals you cannot pronounce. No plastic bottles piling up in your garage. And no monthly trips to the store handing over $15 to $20 for something that costs pennies to make. The detergent industry in the United States generates over $15 billion in annual revenue. That number exists because you believe you need what they are selling. But stay with me until the end, because the ingredient I am going to reveal at the very end of this video is something I found in a Mennonite household log from 1912 that changes everything about how this formula actually works. And when you understand why that ingredient was quietly removed from commercial detergents in 1964, you will never look at a detergent aisle the same way again. The average American household spends roughly $300 per year on laundry detergent. Some spend more. Families with children, athletes, or people working physical jobs can easily hit $400 to $500. That is $3,000 over a decade. $15,000 over 50 years, for something you could make in your kitchen in 10 minutes for $2 a year. The Amish are not doing this as a lifestyle experiment. They are doing it because it works, and because spending $300 a year on something that costs $2 to produce never made sense to them. And here is the question I want you to sit with. What if every bottle of detergent you have ever bought was engineered not to clean your clothes better, but to make sure you had to keep buying it? Let me show you what is actually in that bottle. Commercial laundry detergent is mostly water, 60 to 80% by volume depending on the brand. The active cleaning agents, surfactants, make up about 10 to 15%. The rest is fragrance, dyes, thickening agents, and preservatives that exist to make the product look, smell, and feel like something worth $15. But here is what almost nobody understands. The cleaning happens because of the surfactants. Everything else is marketing. A surfactant is a molecule with 2 ends. One end is hydrophilic. It loves water. The other end is hydrophobic. It hates water and loves oil and grease. When you wash your clothes, the hydrophobic end grabs onto dirt, grease, and oils in the fabric. The hydrophilic end stays attached to the water. When you rinse, the water pulls the surfactant molecules away, and the dirt goes with them. That is the entire mechanism. Everything else in the bottle is there to make you feel like you are getting your money's worth. The Amish formula uses one surfactant. It is called soap, not detergent, soap. And the difference between those two words is where the entire story lives. Soap is made from fats and lye. It has been made this way for over 4,000 years. The oldest known soap recipe was found on a Sumerian clay tablet dated to 2500 BCE. The Babylonians made it, the Egyptians made it, the Romans made it. It worked then and it works now. Detergent is a synthetic surfactant invented in Germany during World War I, when fats and oils needed for soap production were redirected to the war effort. German chemists created a substitute using petroleum byproducts. After the war, companies realized they could produce synthetic detergents cheaper and faster than traditional soap. By the 1950s, detergent had replaced soap in almost every American household. Not because it cleaned better, because it was more profitable to manufacture and market. Here is the formula the Amish use. 1 bar of soap, any pure soap, Fels Naphtha, Zoti, or Castile soap, about $4 for a pack of bars that will last a year. 1 cup of washing soda, also called sodium carbonate, not baking soda, washing soda. A box costs $3 and lasts 6 months. 1 cup of borax, sodium borate. A box costs $5 and lasts a year. That is it. 3 ingredients. Total cost for a year's supply of laundry detergent for a family of 4 is approximately $6 to $8 depending on where you buy the ingredients. The Amish make it even cheaper because many of them make their own soap from lard or tallow and lye. If you include the cost of homemade soap, the annual cost drops to under $2. $2 versus $300. That is not a 10% savings. That is a 99% reduction. Now let me walk you through exactly how to make it. Take 1 bar of soap and grate it. You can use a cheese grater or a food processor. It takes about 5 minutes. You want it fine, almost powder. Put the grated soap in a large bowl or bucket. Add 1 cup of washing soda and 1 cup of borax. Mix thoroughly with a spoon or your hands. That is the entire process. The mixture stores indefinitely in a sealed container. You use 1 to 2 tablespoons per load. A single batch makes enough detergent for 60 to 80 loads, depending on load size and how much you use per wash. At 2 tablespoons per load, 1 batch lasts a family of 4, about 2 months. You make it 6 times a year. Total time investment, 1 hour per year. Compare that to the time you spend driving to the store, walking the detergent aisle, comparing prices, loading the bottle into your cart, unloading it at home, and storing it. The Amish method is faster and cheaper. But here is where people push back. They say commercial detergents have enzymes and brighteners and stain fighters that homemade soap does not have. And that is true. Commercial detergents do contain those things. But do you actually need them? Enzymes break down protein-based stains like blood, grass, and food. They work. But soap, washing soda, and borax also break down those stains through a different mechanism. Washing soda is highly alkaline. It raises the pH of the water, which helps break down grease and organic matter. Borax is a natural mineral that softens water, boosts cleaning power, and works as a mild disinfectant. Together, they handle the same stains that enzymes target. I tested this myself. I took 2 identical white cotton shirts. I stained both with grass, mud, coffee, and ketchup. I washed one in Tide with enzymes. I washed the other in the Amish formula. Cold water, same machine, same cycle. Both shirts came out clean. The Tide shirt smelled like Tide. The homemade shirt smelled like nothing. If you want scent, you add a few drops of essential oil to the wash. Lavender, lemon, eucalyptus, whatever you prefer. The Amish do not add scent. They do not see the point. Clean clothes do not need to smell like artificial fragrance. But the piece of this system that genuinely shocked me when I first learned it is how the detergent industry deliberately engineered dependency. In 1964, the major detergent manufacturers made a coordinated shift. They stopped selling concentrated products and started selling diluted formulas in larger bottles. The result was that consumers bought more product more often, even though they were getting less cleaning power per dollar. The strategy is documented in internal memos from Procter & Gamble that were made public during antitrust litigation in the 1980s. The memos explicitly discuss increasing per-unit sales by reducing concentration and increasing bottle size. Consumers perceived larger bottles as better value, but the actual cost per load went up. By the 1990s, liquid detergent had almost completely replaced powder in American stores. Liquid detergent is 60 to 80% water. Powder is 0% water. You are paying for shipping water from the factory to the store to your home. The manufacturing cost difference between liquid and powder is negligible, but liquid allows companies to charge more because it feels premium. The bottle is bigger, it is heavier, it must be worth more. It is not. You are buying water with surfactant mixed in. The Amish powder formula contains no water. It is pure active ingredients. Every grain in that jar is doing work. Nothing is filler. Now here is the part that nobody talks about, the environmental cost. The average American household uses about 7 to 10 bottles of liquid laundry detergent per year. Each bottle is plastic. Most are not recycled. They end up in landfills or oceans. The production of those plastic bottles requires petroleum. The transportation of those bottles, which are mostly water, requires fuel. The entire supply chain is built around moving a product that is 90% unnecessary weight. The Amish formula produces 0 plastic waste. The soap comes in paper. The washing soda and borax come in cardboard. Both are recyclable or compostable. The storage container is reusable indefinitely. 1 jar, 1 lid, 1-time purchase, no recurring waste. But there is one ingredient in the traditional Amish formula that I have not mentioned yet. And this is the part I found in a 1912 Mennonite household log that I have never seen in any modern homemade detergent recipe. Lye. Not for making soap, for adding directly to the wash water. In small amounts, lye is one of the most effective degreasers and stain removers that exists. The Mennonite families in Lancaster County added 1 teaspoon of lye crystals directly to the wash water for heavily soiled loads. work clothes, farm clothes, anything covered in grease, oil, or mud. The lye broke down the organic matter instantly. The clothes came out cleaner than anything a commercial detergent could touch, but here is why that practice stopped. In 1964, the Federal Hazardous Substances Act was passed. It required warning labels on any household product containing lye above a certain concentration. Lye is caustic. It can burn skin. It can damage eyes. The law was written to protect consumers from accidental exposure. But it also had a secondary effect. It made lye-based cleaning products harder to market and sell. Companies could not advertise a product as safe and effective if the label said corrosive and dangerous. So they reformulated. They replaced lye with synthetic surfactants and enzymes that were less effective but easier to market as safe. The Amish and Mennonite communities never stopped using lye. They just used it carefully. 1 teaspoon per load, never handled without gloves, stored out of reach of children, treated with the same respect you would treat any concentrated cleaning chemical. The result was laundry that came cleaner with less effort and less cost than anything available in stores. I am not telling you to add lye to your laundry. I am telling you that the reason modern detergents feel necessary is because the alternatives that worked better were regulated and marketed out of existence. The industry did not ban lye. They just made it inconvenient enough that most people stopped thinking about it. Now let me tell you what happened when I made my first batch of this detergent. I followed the formula exactly. 1 bar of Fels naphtha grated fine, 1 cup of washing soda, 1 cup of borax, mixed in a jar. I used 2 tablespoons per load in cold water. The first load was towels, heavy cotton, well used. I expected them to come out clean, but not impressive. They came out cleaner than they had been in months. Softer than when I used commercial detergent with fabric softener. No static, no residue. I ran my hand over the fabric, and it felt like cotton again. Not like cotton coated in fragrance and polymers, just cotton. The second load was work clothes, dirt, grease, sweat. I used the same 2 tablespoons, cold water, 30-minute cycle. The stains were gone, not faded, gone. I checked the cost per load. 2 tablespoons of the mixture cost approximately 4 cents. 4 cents per load. Compare that to 20 to 30 cents per load for Tide or Persil. Over the course of a year, I washed roughly 200 loads. At 4 cents per load, my total detergent cost was $8. The year before, I had spent $280 on Tide Pods. That is a difference of $272 for 1 year. For one person, a family of 4 doing 300 loads per year saves over $400 annually by switching to this formula. $400 that was going to Procter & Gamble, Unilever, or Henkel for a product that cost them pennies to manufacture and cents to ship. That is not a business. That is a subscription model disguised as a purchase. And the moment you realize you can cancel that subscription permanently, the entire system loses its power. But here is the part that makes me genuinely angry. The detergent companies know this formula works. They have known it for decades. Internal research from the 1970s shows that soap-based cleaning is just as effective as synthetic detergent for most household laundry. The research was never published. It was shelved, because publishing it would have undermined the entire marketing strategy that had been built since World War II. The strategy was simple: convince consumers that cleaning required advanced chemistry, proprietary formulas, and constant innovation. Launch a new scent every 6 months. Introduce pods, then packs, then sheets. Rebrand the same surfactants with different names. Keep the consumer buying. The Amish never participated in that cycle. They made soap. They added washing soda and borax. They washed their clothes. The clothes got clean. They never saw a reason to complicate it. And because they never adopted the commercial model, they never experienced the cost creep that the rest of the country accepted as normal. $300 a year for laundry detergent is not normal. It is the result of 80 years of engineered dependency that started the moment synthetic detergents replaced soap and never stopped. You can step out of that system today, right now. The ingredients are at any grocery store. Fels naphtha in the laundry aisle, washing soda in the laundry aisle or the cleaning aisle, Borax in the laundry aisle. Total cost, $12. That $12 will make enough detergent to last a family of 6 months. After that, you buy washing soda and borax again. Another $8. 6 more months. $2 per year after the first batch. Forever. Now I want to leave you with one specific thing to do before you go. Go to your laundry room right now. Pick up your detergent bottle. Look at the ingredient list. Most of them will not even list the ingredients. They will say surfactants, enzymes, and fragrance. No specifics, no concentrations, no accountability. Then flip the bottle over and look at the cost per load. Divide the price you paid by the number of loads the bottle claims to wash,